Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. In today's video I'm going to be talking about the expression used to, and in this context used to is used as a primary verb in a sentence, and it combines with the infinitive form of a verb. So for example, used to be, used to have, used to live, used to love, used to go. We use this particular structure to talk about habits, repeated actions, or states in the past that have changed. So things that were true in the past, but that are not true now, that are different now. And because we use this particular structure only to talk about situations in the past, it is always conjugated in the simple past. So as an example, to show you how we use this particular structure, let me tell you a little bit about my childhood. So when I was a child, my life was very different. So for example, I used to live in a different place. Specifically, I used to live in California. My sister and I used to love watching cartoons on Saturday morning. And in the summer, my family and I used to go to the beach every summer, basically. So as you can see from these three examples, number one, the structure is always used to plus a verb in infinitive form. Used to live, used to love, and used to go. Additionally, the three sentences are talking about situations in the past. So in these particular examples, situations from when I was a child. And finally, like I said at the beginning of the video, this particular expression is used to emphasize that something has changed, that something was true in the past, but it is the opposite now. So when I tell you that I used to live in California, you can assume that I don't live in California now. My sister and I used to watch cartoons on Saturday mornings. Do we watch cartoons now? No, only in the past. And our family and I used to go to the beach every summer, but not anymore. And finally, when you use this structure, it is very important to remember that we use this structure to talk about repeated actions in the past, habits in the past, or sometimes to talk about states that continued for a period of time in the past. But we never use this structure to talk about things that only happened one time in the past. So for example, if I tell you that in 2001, my family and I went to Brazil, this is obviously a situation that only happened once. It is not correct to use this particular structure. You would simply use the simple past. My family and I went to Brazil in 2001. Now, it is also possible to use this particular structure in the negative form, and it's just the same negative form that you use in the simple past with any other verb. So basically, we use the auxiliary didn't, and because didn't is in the past, be careful, use is in the base form, didn't used to. So if I continue telling you about my childhood, I can also tell you that when I was a child, I didn't used to like vegetables very much. I didn't used to exercise very much. I preferred to watch TV. And I grew up a long time ago, so we didn't used to have cell phones when I was a child. Again, the same is true in the negative sentences as in the affirmative sentences. We can assume that these are things that have changed. So I didn't used to have a cell phone when I was a child, and people in general didn't used to have a cell phone when I grew up. But now, obviously, the majority of people have cell phones. I didn't used to like vegetables when I was a child, but I'm okay with them now. I didn't used to exercise much, but I try to exercise more now. And finally, it is also possible to use this structure to ask questions. So for example, where we use the same structure as in the simple past. So for example, did you used to like vegetables when you were a child? Again, use in the base form. Did you used to like vegetables when you were a child? Where did you used to live when you were a child? What TV shows did you used to like? What foods did you used to like? Did you used to have any pets? You can answer all of these questions in the comment section to get a little bit of practice with the structure.